All right, let's dive in. Today we are tackling, well, Nietzsche.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Nietzsche. We're going deep on his views on punishment. And
Buckle up.
yeah, buckle up is right, because I have a feeling they're anything but straightforward.
Understatement of the century.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we've got the excerpts. We're ready to unpack them.
Let's do it.
All right, so the sources talk about this idea of Nietzsche's genealogy of punishment.
Okay.
What is that all about?
So think of it this way, like an archaeological dig,
Right?
but for ideas. Nietzsche's tracing punishment all the way back to the very beginnings.
Okay.
And here's the thing, right? He sees it starting not with morality, but with practicality.
Okay.
Picture early humans.
Okay.
You've got a dispute with somebody, someone breaks your spear,
Right.
no courts, no prisons.
Right.
It's not about good and evil, it's about balance.
Mm-hmm.
So you settle it,
Uh-huh.
a new spear, maybe some labor, something like that,
So it's more like bartering
basically.
instead of like serving time or
Yeah.
paying a fine or
Right, exactly.
That's fascinating.
Yeah,
That's so different from how we view it now.
absolutely.
It's
yeah.
like a world away.
Yeah, a world away.
Totally.
So, okay, so we've got this early form of punishment,
Right.
which is just,
Practical.
yeah, practical, right?
Right.
But then as societies got more complex, things obviously changed.
They did. And this idea of moral guilt
Yeah.
that starts to get layered on.
Okay.
And this is where Nietzsche gets really interesting.
Okay.
He's saying this shift to morality, it wasn't just like some natural progression.
Right.
It was a power play.
Okay, so then what are the implications of that for how we view punishment today?
Well, Nietzsche argued that institutions, those in power, they latched onto this idea of moral guilt.
Mm-hmm.
And they used it as a means of controlling people. Punishment became less about genuine harm
Mm-hmm.
and more about instilling fear
Right.
and obedience.
Right. And here's where he introduces this concept of ressentiment.
Ressentiment, okay?
Yeah.
That's not exactly a word I use in everyday conversation.
No, it's not.
So break it down for us.
So ressentiment, it's like this deep-seated resentment,
Okay.
a feeling of powerlessness
Mhm.
that those who are weaker feel towards the strong.
Okay.
Nietzsche believed that this resentment
Right.
fueled this whole moralization of punishment.
So then punishment becomes less about justice
Exactly.
and more about...
This power dynamic, this
Yeah.
twisted power dynamic.
That's so fascinating.
Yeah, and this leads right into Nietzsche's critique of the modern justice system.
Okay.
He's arguing that it doesn't really serve justice.
Okay.
It just perpetuates these cycles of revenge,
Hmm.
and it strengthens the state's power.
So it's less about rehabilitation
Right.
or even really deterring crime.
He even questions
Yeah.
whether punishment deters crime at all.
It's almost like he's asking us to, like,
He is.
yeah,
He is.
rethink the very foundation of our legal system.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh, wow.
But wait, there's more.
Well, there's more.
Nietzsche also talks about self-inflicted punishment.
Okay.
He argues that we internalize societal norms
Uh-huh.
and these moral codes
Right.
to the point where we punish ourselves.
Wait, so we're like all
Yeah.
walking around punishing ourselves?
All the time. Yep.
Maybe that explains my inner critic after I eat like a whole bag of chips.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like we've built these internal prisons.
Hmm.
Nietzsche saw this as a form of asceticism,
Okay.
denying our instincts,
Yeah.
suppressing pleasure,
Right?
living under this constant guilt and self-criticism.
Oh, wow.
You ever feel crushed by society's expectations?
Oh, yeah.
Nietzsche might say you're experiencing
It's like this self-inflicted...
self-inflicted punishment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This connects to his own life too, right?
It does.
There's this interpretation of his mental breakdown as a form of self-inflicted punishment.
That's right.
Sensitive topic, of course.
Of course. Of course.
But some scholars look at it and they say
They do.
his relentless pursuit of knowledge,
Yeah.
challenging these conventional ideas,
Uh-huh.
his isolation,
Yeah.
all this could have contributed to his decline.
Potentially.
Yeah.
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 So if we take a step back and we look at everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
what is Nietzsche really trying to tell us here?
He's urging us to question everything, to move beyond these simple ideas of good and evil,
Uh-huh.
crime and punishment.
Right.
He wants us to consider
Yeah.
how to create systems that foster personal growth
Right.
and accountability.
Instead of just revenge.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow. That's a lot.
That's a lot to process.
It is.
So then the big question is,
Yeah.
if we were to do away with traditional punishment,
Right.
what would we replace it with?
That's the question, isn't it?
How do we create a system that's truly just?
Right.
and actually promotes individual transformation.
Right.
I think that's the challenge that Nietzsche leaves us with.
Hmm.
He doesn't give us the answers,
Right.
but he certainly forces us to confront the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big one.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Nietzsche's given us all a lot to think about today.
He always does.
Yeah.
He always does.
Until next time.
See you then. Bye.
Bye.